What's going on, everybody? This is Sean of Raw Select Music. Today I want to talk about this record right here. This is Bluestaeb, Everything is a Process, released this year on Jakarta Records in 2018. This was a record that I was really curious about. I had his previous work, an album whose title I will not pronounce because I know I'm going to butcher it, and I saw a lot of promise in this record. It's not one of my favorite sort of instrumental hip-hop records. I think that a lot of the songs are just too short for their own good, and a lot of the ideas really needed to be a little bit more fleshed out. But I still saw a lot of promise from this record, and I still think you should give this guy a listen. But because of this record here, I was always interested in hearing more music from Bluestaeb. So when I saw that he had a new album coming out, I decided that I was going to pick it up and give it a listen. And now that I've given it a few listens, I wanted to share my thoughts and opinions about it with you and let you know whether or not I think it's worth checking out. So with that little introduction out of the way, let's get into this guy. So a little bit of background about Bluestaeb. Apparently he's based out of Paris. He's a beat maker. He put out a pretty popular record, this guy that I already talked about, in 2015, and this was his follow-up. I guess he's been making music since 2015 because the tracks recorded on here have been in the works since 2015 up until this current year. So I was looking forward to this record because I thought there was some pretty unique productions on here. I like his sort of combination of sample-based beats with more electronic music. I like the fact that he does a lot of sort of what I could loosely call sort of post-trap beats, where he's sort of taking trap music and really giving it a completely different sound by making it more mellow, more melodic, and just doing something that's sort of outside the mainstream. So everything that I had heard prior to picking this album up had led me to believe that I was going to like this record more than his previous outing. Easily the highlight production for me going into this record was the track All Right, which starts off with this great little samba sample before going all in on this really slow, enveloping trap melody with some really hard-hitting drums. And I just really like the sort of inventiveness and creativity with that production. And the switch up from the samba sample, those juxtapositions of those two sounds together, really I quite enjoyed. And then I like some of his more up-tempo stuff. The track Left to Right has a really cool breakdown in it, and it's definitely one of the better up-tempo tracks from this record. However, I have to say, as much as I really want to love this album more, I basically have run into the exact same problems with this record that I had with this record. And that's that a lot of these tracks, if they were just left in the oven a little bit longer and were a little bit more developed, I feel like Bluestaeb would be up there with some of the best beat makers right now. And as a result of a lot of the tracks just being short on here, and I'm not against short tracks, but the problem with the shortness of a lot of the tracks on here is they just feel underdeveloped. There's so many little interlude tracks throughout this record that just barely hit the 2-minute mark. And while some of them are really interesting, the majority of them just sort of come and go and leave absolutely no impact. And then I also have to talk about, I am not a fan of some of the more modern day rappers. Noah Slee, who does Mr. the second track on here, just is a complete miss for me. All Smooth, which features vocals from Ash Shakur, yeah, it just, again, doesn't do anything for me. And then the last one that I can think of, All Day with Pete Flux, is just, I don't know, it's just maybe more than anything, it's just a personal feeling, but them as vocalists just doesn't do it for me. However, that's not to say that in terms of the vocal side of things, they're all misses. Mind, which actually features vocals from Noah Slee and Maya, is definitely a great little neo-soul cut. And then some of the other tracks on here, Stay has a great little 30-second outro that I wish was extended a little bit longer because it's exactly what I want to hear more from Bluestaeb. But again, he seems like he's just constantly teasing us, or me anyways, with some really great musical ideas, and then they're gone. So I understand that the title is probably supposed to be indicative of the music on here, and yes, I understand that music is a process, and yes, I understand that Bluestaeb will probably be a better beat maker than I will ever be until I actually sit down and try to take it seriously, which I don't know if that'll actually happen. But I have to say, there's just some really great ideas on here. There's some great drums, there's some great melodies, there's some creative sampling, but a lot of the songs on here just feel undercooked, and as a result, I'm just sort of underwhelmed by this record. And honestly, if you really want to check out Bluestaeb's music, as much as I have sort of the same opinions about this record, I feel like this one is the more complete project of this. It's not to say that I'm completely soured on Bluestaeb, and I'm not looking forward to hearing new music from him in the future, but yeah, I'm sort of cold on this record. I would say stream it, give it a listen. I don't think you have to run out and pick it up. If you really like what you hear on it, I'd say best bet is to wait for it to go on sale. Don't buy it full price. And yeah, it's a bit of a letdown. It's not the worst record in the world, and it's certainly not bad. It's just sort of disappointing. And yeah, it's kind of one of the bigger letdowns of 2018. So that's gonna be it for me today, guys. Thanks as always for watching. If you've listened to Bluestaeb's Everything is a Process, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments below. Always make sure you head over to my WordPress or Steemit blogs, because that's where I will have music links so you can check out the album for yourself. Also head over to my Mixcloud page, because that's where I post Raw Select Radio, which is basically the audio component of this YouTube channel, and it'll give you a more comprehensive overview of all the different music that I listen to. That's gonna be it for me today, guys. Thanks as always for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Until then, peace out!